We're live.
No, we're not.
I mean,
It ain't here.
Well, you probably got to hit refresh.
Sir, if it ain't here, we ain't live. It refreshed.
You know we got bad internet down here, so that don't matter.
That looked like it went through.
Try it again.
Oh, man.
Is it under videos? Because it's not a video yet, right? Wouldn't it be
See,
home?
right there. See?
Shut up.
I told you it wouldn't.
It's fine. We're live now.
I told you it takes a second.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
This is Leroy.
Disgusted.
Disgusted. He'll be all right.
Disgusted Leroy. You should be disgusted.
Crooked? Like, I know this thing is always crooked, but it looks worse than normal.
How do you not see that when you...
See? That's a different shot than what that is.
Parallel universe. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But anyway, you should be disgusted.
Why am I disgusted? Oh, because I spent all this money?
You spent $130 for a beta.
I felt like I spent more than that.
It's $130.
What? Is that what it was? For this and an extra controller?
Oh, you bought an extra controller?
Yes! I spent close to $200, man. I got this controller and this controller.
Oh.
Yeah, man. It's
Let's go take a minute.
It is what it is.
I thought I was mad today. You should be mad today.
I invested in a future that may or may not come.
First of all, we're the News 19 Nerds. Yanni Shaw just watched Jojo Rabbit. Hold that thought, because eventually we're going to watch Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is...
I'm busy.
No, it hadn't showed up here.
No, isn't it at the Nickelodeon?
And that's the only place it's been.
Yeah.
It hasn't been, for us, even though we're a city, we're a capital city, we still have crappy movie access because the Parasite never came here.
Oh yeah,
And
you're excited about that.
I have been, like, I'm literally like, how do I sneak out one day during the week to go, like, do I need to go to Charlotte to see this? Or I need to drive to Atlanta? Because I want to see that movie and it never came here.
Yeah.
So Yanni, we really want to see it. Let us know what you think. Don't spoil it. But I heard it is very good.
I expect it to be good. I haven't seen in my opinion, a bad Taika Waititi.
He's only got 4 movies though.
And I liked them.
I mean,
yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about Google Stadia and whether or not it's worth it. TLDL, too long, don't read. It's not. Also, we're gonna talk about a Joker sequel that may or may not be in the works, or Top Phillips may or may not have talked to people.
We're gonna talk about Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Because this is part of Warner Brothers'
issue.
Yes.
Well, is it though?
Yes.
We'll get into it.
It is because you don't get this from any other movie studio.
Okay.
Like your marquee movie, and you have conflicting report. Like you literally have 3 dueling reports.
Yeah.
So.
And we may get into some other stuff. There's something else you might want to touch on, right?
Okay, just a couple of things like that. It kind of. I don't know.
We'll get to these and we get to them.
Well, it pivots, but we'll get to it. So let's start with what this boondoggle of a purchase you have.
This boondoggle, the Google Chromecast Ultra.
Now, how much is that?
This was $69.99 by itself. The Google Chromecast Ultra, as Rayshawn's letting us know, is $69.
What's up, Rayshawn? I have 2. I have the original Chromecast and I have the newer one. I don't have the Ultra. What's the difference between the Ultra?
The Ultra is that it does 4K.
Don't need it.
You got a 4K TV, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't need the stream in 4K.
I mean, you don't want to see Netflix in 4K?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean,
you don't want to see Star Wars in 4K now that you can on Disney Plus?
Yeah, but those are the bad copies.
Fair enough.
I want the original.
Yeah.
Untouched, unmolested.
All right, so
I don't need to see McClunky.
Quick backstory. We are myself, June 6, 2019.
Yeah, remember that.
It's another day for us to remember. Google Stadia had a little press conference. They said they're going to change the world, the other stuff. I bought into the hype. I kind of bought into the hype / I'm a single dude with money that I like to burn.
Are you really single though?
I'm not married. So my money is mine.
Are you really single though?
My money is mine. Her money's hers.
I wouldn't go in there. I was going the other way.
What? The money's together?
No. As a parent of 2 children.
Man! You set me up so much. I couldn't even connect the dots. I really was. I hate you so much.
What's up, guys?
Couldn't even
Michael
connect.
is single. I'm the only one that's married, but I like to mess with him that he got kids that he don't want to admit he got.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, my money to spend how I want. Should I spend it on this? I don't know. Time will tell.
Okay, go ahead.
So, but yeah, so that came out. Myself and a coworker of ours, Shauna. She was on the show.
She
was on the E3 Xbox earlier this year.
I thought it was a video game where she was with us, but it was
Xbox stuff. She also got it. We were Founders Editions. We got it day one.
I like that controller, the way it looks.
It looks nice. It feels. Hold it.
I don't want.
Hold it. Touch it. It's fine. Feels nice.
$70 worth of.
You know, like I brought other ones to compare to, but yeah.
I mean, Go ahead.
So yeah, we got it day one. Or we pre-ordered it first day. Months go by, we're kind of getting hyped for it, and then Google makes the announcement. Oh yeah, even if you got it day one, or even if you pre-ordered day one, as soon as that thing came out, you may not get it day one. We didn't. Shauna and I both got it the second day. It came out on November 19th. We both got ours the 20th. Or at least at last check, she told me she was scheduled to get it the 20th. I haven't checked to see if she got it.
I should have asked her. Should we drove by each other in the parking lot, and I should have swerved my car. Did you get it?
Yeah. So I got.
How is it?
I got mine yesterday. Mm-hmm. So does it work? Yes and no.
So I've been hearing conflicting reports.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing reports that it works if you don't mind the lag.
So, yeah. But the thing is, what they promised was this is going to be lag free experience or 0 to any lag on it. I have two games. I have Destiny 2 and I have Samurai Showdown. Mm-hmm. Both those games were free with the Stadia service as part of being a Stadia founder, pro member, and all that stuff. The games work. There is lag and there is some latency in it, which to me, I completely understand if somebody's pissed off about it. To me, I'm a single player person. So the lag doesn't hurt me as much. Like, I'm not trying to fight somebody in an online fighting game with it.
Sure.
But I can understand I can understand how that would piss you off with the lag. Because I'll hit a button and I can visibly see the time I can discern the time it takes for that button press to register to what's going on the screen.
That hurt me.
It is like, I'll hit it, and then, now it's close, but it's still not as close as if it were a wired controller or the game is physically there. Now, the idea of what it's doing is cool. It is cool to just, as soon as I hit that button, it takes maybe 10 seconds, the game plays.
Really?
It does. It is.
That is literally quicker than my
right.
PlayStation.
That's what I'm saying. In terms of loading and stuff, it loads very fast. Like faster than if you had the physical game. I was able to switch between Samurai Showdown, Destiny, all that kind of stuff. Loads up and I'm playing. All that kind of stuff.
So that part was good. That part worked.
Yes. But some of the issues are the lag. Also, there's like sometimes the screen will kind of tear in some places, and it'll get like almost like a not so much as a Vaseline filter, but you can see like a degradation in the quality of the graphics, which sucks because being a pro member and paying that price, I'm supposed to have 4K graphics, 60 frames per second, all that kind of stuff, or up to 4K graphics, 60 frames per second.
Now, question: I've been hearing reports that this is basically an expensive beta.
It is.
And
that we are the beta testers, and I wonder now. Google has so much money that they probably don't care. Like, I don't see them being like, "Man, we're gonna support you guys. We're glad you guys were the first ones here. You're gonna get a bunch of free games. You're supposed to get a free game a month." Personally, I feel like we should get more for being the guinea pigs to make this thing work.
You really are the experiments.
So I mean, is it worth? I think the controller's nice. Like in terms of feel and how it feels nice. I got these along compared to Google Stadia to a PS4 controller. You can see it's kind of a combination of a lot of the controllers out now. Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like the Pro Switch controller for the Nintendo Switch.
Weight.
It's similar. It feels good. I feel like it might be a little heavier than a PS4, but not as heavy as an Xbox One controller. The right and left thumbsticks themselves are kind of on the same plane like a PS4, as opposed to being offset like an Xbox One or a Switch. The back side kind of has a bezel thing with a nice concave grip on the bottom. Nice feeling matte finish. Overall nice.
Okay.
Some of the features in Google Stadia are not available, which sucks. Like you and I kept joking. You ain't got to worry about getting Google Stadia because I'll just give you the buddy pass. I can't because I ain't got it yet. I'd love to. I can't give it to you. They said it's coming at a later date. So nobody has a buddy pass feature to give to other people to let them even try it. That's coming at a later date. Also, the buttons, you got your standard X, Y, B, and A, all that stuff. All this is kind of similar. You have basically at the top, as best as you can see it, because it's kind of whatever. You have a start and an options feature. There's also a Google Assistant feature, which is kind of like Siri for iPhones or whatever, that kind of lets you do stuff around your house. And then there's a capture button. Right now, it's supposed to be able to capture video and photos.
Brandon wants to know if we can hold it close to the.
Oh, yes. You guys are smart. Thanks, audience. Because we're dumb. But, yeah.
So here's the controller. Here's the top. Here's the buttons he's talking about. Here are your triggers at the top. We're going to get to this port in the front of it a little bit. Here's the bezel right here. Here's where you can see the jack. This is the Midnight Blue, guys.
That's the premium Founders Edition.
Yes.
Only Founders can get it.
Yes.
I'm sure people can probably find it. Yeah, whatever the Founders are. But yeah, there's a screen capture button. You're supposed to be able to do still photos and video. As of right now, you can only do still photos.
Okay.
Videos, another feature that's coming later along with Buddy Pass. And what happens is once you take that photo, then it kind of goes on your phone, and you can kind of do whatever you want with the photo. It's easy to use. Trying to think of what else. So there's a microphone jack if you want to plug in the headphones or a microphone, or sorry, not a microphone. There's a built-in microphone into it, so you can just talk and it'll hear. That is for a headphone jack, and then in the front is USB-C, which I think a lot of things use USB-C now. Then the Nintendo Switch Pro uses the USB-C.
I think
some phones do. Yeah.
my phone does.
If you were just buying the system, it would come with this box.
School box.
Yeah, it comes. It's all a nice package.
Very Apple looking.
It is very sleek overall. You see the clamshell on the inside of what it would look like. It came with this. It came with the Google Chrome. Came with the adapter to plug it into a USB or to an actual outlet, because you need actual power, not USB. It doesn't run off USB. It has to be plugged into a source. And a USB-C cable.
Okay.
What else? What are the questions you got?
So one of the things that I've been reading and I've been watching people online, Rayshawn K asks, what's the internet speed recommended for 4K? Because you have the 4K.
Yeah, so they said the internet speed was like at 20 megabits per second. Was like
just the bare minimum.
That's for 4K.
For 4K.
Yeah. I played in two different environments so far. I played at my house, and I never lost any drops of like a drop in a game. Like it never crashed or anything. There were a couple of times where the frames would drop. Again, it didn't ruin the experience because I'm playing by myself. I could definitely see if somebody was playing with somebody, that would suck because you would know if your input was being read or not. There were a couple of times where the character would slide because whatever input I pressed didn't correspond to whatever frame it was on, so it would kind of buffer a little bit. It didn't happen a lot, but I noticed it.
Ooh, because if you're going through a level and you're jumping.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
That timing precision is necessary in your Dark Souls, your Jedi Fallen Order.
Now there's an option in the Samurai Showdowns game. This is just an example of called a perfect parry and a perfect block. I almost had to anticipate what the character was going to do because there was lag in the thing. Like I couldn't actually wait on the opponent to attack me to block it. I almost had to block beforehand and think they were going to attack me, which is kind of crazy in terms of fighting games. You should be able to watch them and attack. You almost have to anticipate, at least to compensate for the lag.
That's almost like old school gaming when you're playing and you know the game is broken.
Yeah. Okay, Brian Barrett, I'm hearing the setup makes you jump through a million hoops. So here's the setup. You plug before this, I never used the Chromecast.
Really?
Chromecast Ultra. Nope.
This is the first time.
I've never had all the stuff. Anytime I use like a streaming thing is always through my Xbox or PS4. So I've never had a Fire Stick or anything. I've used it before, but I've never had one personally. You plug your Chromecast Ultra into your TV through a HDMI. You plug it into a standard outlet. You turn it on, and your TV pops up, and the setup is essentially you have to connect. First, you need to have a smartphone because Chromecast does not have a remote. which sucks.
Yeah.
That is a very downside. I'm sure people who already know, but
Yeah.
Chromecast does not come with a remote. Fire Stick does.
It
I
does.
didn't realize how beneficial that was until you have to have some type of smart. It would probably be a tablet would work too, I would assume, but some type of smart device to be the remote. You download the Google Home app. It walks you through step by step. You answer some basic questions. You figure out what room it's going to be in. You have to connect whatever tablet, smartphone you're using, whatever Chromecast device you're using, and whatever controller you're using. All need to be on the same Wi-Fi network.
See, that's interesting because what we had heard all along was you don't need any hardware. All you need is an internet connection, a Chromecast dongle, and you can play.
So again, that's coming later. All this cool stuff is coming later. It's not that way now.
And again, to Brian Barrett's point, it seems like a lot of hoops to get through when I can just hit on my PlayStation or Xbox.
It is a lot of stuff you have to go through. Now, the actual process of it finding each other for me was very simple. It found everything very simply.
Okay.
It's just kind of tedious going through and typing in whatever your password is for your system.
Oh, and you guys who have them long passwords with
I had to do it 3 different times. Once for the phone, once for the Chromecast, and actually, no, I had to do it 4 different times because I have 2 controllers. So I had to do it for each controller. It can be an intensive process.
Somebody go get punched behind this.
But I don't think it's a hard process. It's just kind of tedious.
I can see a bunch of roommates fighting.
Yeah.
So they got this, and they're drinking, and like
they walk you through step by step on how to hook everything up and make sure everything's synced, and it works. It just takes a while to do. So I did that. It probably took me 10 minutes maybe to hook all that stuff up at my house last night. I came to work to try it on our system. It does work. Again, I had to type in that passcode to this thing several different times to get all that to work. It worked. Now, the connection wasn't as good. To be fair, we probably shouldn't be playing video games on the system, so they probably weren't allowing you to download to the download speed and upload speed to be as that fast.
And we've had problems on the internet here with that when we go to stream video games.
Right.
We've engineering, our IT department has been really good at helping us.
Yeah.
But they've literally said like it has been hard to stream games.
And I understand it's a work environment. It's not made for that. Yeah. They're doing that for a security reason, so that's fine. But I just want to see if it was able to be done. It can be done. I tried to use my phone as a hotspot to see if I could connect it, and I couldn't. And I wonder if that's because the phone was acting as a hotspot and was also using the same Google Home on here. I wonder if I had a different phone to use that as a hotspot if it worked. I don't know.
Now, Ray Sean K is asking, I have an Ethernet cable for my Chromecast so I can get a steady signal.
Yeah.
But Maratz asks, can you use the Google Play Store with Stadia?
So Google has its own, the Stadia has its own Stadia store that you buy everything through. You could either buy online or you can buy on your phone. Like I had to download the Google Stadia store to kind of pair all that stuff up. And essentially you buy the games there. Once you buy them there.
So once I go through here, if I'm on my phone right now and I type in Google Stadia.
Yep, there's an app for it.
There's an app for, oh, I see it right here.
Yep.
And this is the store. Is this the store or just the Stadia?
That's the Stadia. It's all in one.
Okay.
You essentially use the same app to play and buy the games. Again, very simple process to do all that stuff. I think it's very, I don't want to say intuitive. I think if you take your time, you can figure out how to hook everything up. It just takes a while to do. I'm trying to think of other questions. If you guys have questions, please let us know.
So we have a couple questions.
Okay.
Brendan Gonzalez asks, how many years do you think until its full potential within 5 or more? Before we get to that, I was assuming that this is something that you could buy as a parent. You don't want to spend $200, $300, $400 on a console.
It's not there yet.
Okay, see that's because that is going to lead into Brandon Gonzalez's question. When will it get there?
See, it's interesting because I got so many different thoughts, but this kind of reminds me, and you brought up, and a thought that I had. This reminds me of Disney Plus. These big companies don't seem to be ready for these launches, and they have so much money
invested in it,
and they can't be doing it on purpose because they don't want to lose money. They don't want to look bad, but it just seems weird that they're not set up and prepared for this stuff to handle this like initial workload or whatever.
And and it's funny that you mentioned that because Dame, what's up, guys? We're gonna get to shout outs to everybody's name, but that literally leads into what you said about Disney Plus. With Damien Estrada says, my question about the game systems: will it have some type of, I'm guessing, block accounts from getting hacked? I'm not really big on the term, so I don't know if that's a new one or you meant to say block. But I get what this person is saying. Disney Plus, in their infinite wisdom, did not protect user IDs, things, and so literally people were getting hacked and having their account information sold online. Or does this, you see what I'm saying? Like,
so with the thing with Google is that I feel like their encryption software, like the back end before Google Stadia in terms of like Google Pay all that stuff, I feel secure using it. So I feel like my information is secure.
Okay.
Because all that same infrastructure was here for Google Stadia. So I feel good about the safety in that regards. I'm trying to think. How long will it take for this to be somewhere? I mean, maybe 2 or 3 years? Because again, it is really cool to say if you are. I tried it again this morning before I came to work. I tried it again. I turned on my TV. I hit the button, and I was probably playing within 10, 15 seconds.
see, and what I think about that is cool. But the problem I'm having with this is, and I'm a skeptic by nature. You're only the betas.
Yeah.
So I understand there's going to be bugs. I understand there's problems, but I think that they rolled this out. They staggered this out so that you guys can identify. And I'm trying to figure out, how is the lag this bad now when you want to roll this out to everybody?
Yeah.
And that's where my hesitant to join in on this comes from. Let's do a couple of shout outs.
Sure.
Joe Greer, thanks for joining us. D. Stiesel, Brandon Gonzalez, Edward Sanchez Productions, Brian Barrett, IMAX, saw The Chosen One up there. What You Were Watching, Yanni Shaw, and I think, did we say Ray Sean?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw Ray
If we
Sean.
didn't, what's up, Ray Sean?
But yeah, guys, thanks. Everybody seems to wonder, so D. Stiesel brings up something. This could be as successful as the Panasonic 3DO, and that is, ouch. Wow.
I think
that's,
so. To me,
man, don't say that in Google, man. They might come for you after
yeah,
that.
Google definitely has more money to make sure they're probably a little bit more of a success than Panasonic 3DO is. They got all the money to do whatever they want. So I think they're going to be fine that way. It's just, before this came out, a lot of people were dumping. There was definitely skeptics, but there was a lot of groundswell support. That has definitely shifted. And the people who are really supported, like if you go on Reddit, people are like, Google don't work like it's supposed to. That's a big thing now. So they're going to have to fight that in 2020.
Because I was wondering, because it works. It just doesn't work as well as
they claim.
As they claim. Now, Brian Barrett asked, for people who already have a system, is there a reason to switch, in your opinion?
No.
Okay.
There's no, because if you already have the system, here's the thing that, and you guys are, the gentlemen, ladies, whoever's in the chat, they all know, and if you don't, some people thought this was like the Netflix of games, which is inaccurate, because with a Netflix of game, you pay that one monthly subscription and you have access to all that stuff. Even with this, on top of the monthly subscription, you still have to buy the games.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Right now, you have to pay for the monthly subscription. Supposedly, in the future, 2020, I want to say it's Engadget, or it might be The Verge, has a very good breakdown.
There'll be a free version.
There's a free version coming, so you don't have to buy. So like right now, it's $10 a month.
Yes.
On top of the $130 you spent for the Founders Edition.
Well, with the $130, I get 3 free months.
Three free months. So
yeah. So I don't actually start paying for the pro service until February.
So there's supposed to be a $10 service or a $20 service.
$10.
I thought there was supposed to be a higher tier.
$10.
Or just $10.
To my knowledge, I'm just paying $10 a month.
So it's $10 a month on top of whatever game you want to get.
So the big difference is, with the free service, it's just going to be 1080p. If you want the 4K 60 frames per second, then you're paying the $9.99 per month. The issue with that is, a lot of people ain't seeing 4K 60 frames per second right now. So it's kind of like, well, I might as well just wait for the free service. So again, Google has not done right by I don't think Google has done right by the Founders people. I think the concept works, and to play a game to know that I'm playing Destiny 2 or Samurai Showdown, again, I keep using those because those are the games, that I got for free. I haven't paid for a game yet because
there's only
there's 20 games out.
I thought it was 22. Is it 20 or 22?
Close to 20.
Okay.
Less than 30.
Yeah.
The games that they have out, I already own most of them, so I'm not going to buy them again to play it on.
Just to play it on this.
Right. I think there is a world where if we ever get to the point, and we're slowly getting there in terms of crossplay, if you're able to take your saves from one thing to another, maybe you buy multiple versions of the game.
Now, supposedly,
Destiny 2
you can do that.
But again, this is the first time I played Destiny 2, so this is my first account.
Okay.
So I haven't moved it anywhere. You have Destiny 2, right?
Yep.
We need to play.
Okay.
Because I just want to see how it works, like you playing on PlayStation, me playing on this, see whatever. But I did meet speaking of friends, I did meet some new people, and they are part of my friends list now that I have the option to add them as friends to play other games with them and chat with them while I'm doing other stuff. So that's cool.
It's funny that you mentioned that because that reminds me of the whole Death Stranding, that whole idea behind community and linking up within the game. So I'm wondering how a game like Death Stranding will use a Google Stadia. Yeah. Because that was the whole point of Death Stranding, that whole making connections, and people helping each other.
Tying the strands together.
So I guess my question is if looking at it now, and everybody out there asking these questions, what would you tell them to do after you've already...
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm dumb. Let me be the dumb one. I spent my money unwisely.
Michael did this for you.
Yeah.
You should be appreciative.
To paraphrase Indiana Jones, I chose poorly. That's fine. I'll take that hit. That, because I would have spent that money on something else stupid anyway. So that's fine. It's not worth it yet. I say wait for the free version to see how that's going to work.
And then wait for this to go on sale, and then you can, because you don't need this.
Well, you do right now. Well, to my knowledge, as of right now, the only way to play it is with the Chromecast Ultra and with the specified controller that they have. Eventually,
there's going to be
you'll be able to play with the PS4 and Xbox One.
But that's what I'm saying, because there's going to be Bluetooth, and you're going to be able to have other people making these kind of controllers, just like you have other people making PS4 controllers and Xbox controllers.
Damon Estrada, can you add? Thank Brian. I'm glad you appreciate me. Can you add more than one account? Yes. you can have multiple accounts, and it's all kind of managed through your app. I can switch different accounts and switch different controllers to different accounts, all that kind of stuff. So, it's kind of laborious and tedious to get everything together. But
once you get it,
it is.
Now, this is the thing. So we talked about what the features will be in the future. I understand not buying if you already have a game. The games that I'm wondering that will be that people will buy on this. So in one of the articles, and I cannot remember what it was because I was reading it upstairs, the end of the article brought up something, a game that I cannot wait for. Cyberpunk 2077. That's a game I could see people buying or even a Death Stranding, because what's the one big thing we've always complained about? Updates, downloads, and a game that huge is going to have a ton of updates, patches. So if you're a computer user, a high-end computer user, you know how much firmware you got to upgrade your system. Are those the games you see people saying, I'm going to still play my first-person shooter, my fighters, but if they work on the lag, could you see people buying those games that take up a huge amount of gigs?
It's almost like you're paying
your cloud service.
Or like a patience tax almost, right? Like you don't have the patience to wait for all that stuff to download. I'll pay the $60. And if you're doing the free version, you're essentially just paying for the game.
Well, not only that, you're not necessarily just a patience tax. The game is streaming. You don't have to wait. How many times have you turned on your PlayStation or your Xbox and you were like, there's another update? And you...
So I did have to update a couple of basic things. I had to update the Chromecast, which is standard for any type of device, I'm sure. That didn't take long. I had to update the controller. The Founders Edition controller, it took maybe 20 seconds to update the firmware. The controller that I bought separately probably took like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know why. I was in the same environment, but that took decidedly longer to update that firmware for some reason. I don't know. Just a side note.
Brian Barrett says, any really nice AAA games available? We know Tomb Raider's supposed to be available.
All the newer Tomb Raider games are out.
Destiny 2.
Like I can look it up on Google. I can
say
tell you what games we got.
Samurai Showdown. Their Division 2 is supposed to be one of them. Which, I'm be honest with you, when you talk about this lag, that scares me for a game like Division and Destiny because you need to hit your target before somebody else does.
So today, on November 21st, 2019, these are the games you can buy on Google Stadia. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There's a couple different versions you can buy. Attack on Titan 2, Final Battle. Destiny. I don't know if you can buy Destiny 2 if that just comes free.
I think it comes free.
Probably, yeah, at this point.
Because
the only people that got it will get it. So
yeah.
It's in the store, but it's claimed. Final Fantasy 15, Farming Simulator 19. I like Farming Simulator. Those games are fun. You should play Farming Simulator. Might be
you know what? That's a game that you would buy for Stadia.
Yeah.
Because it's something you could take wherever you go.
Football Manager 2020, Grid, which is a racing game. Now Guilt, which is by Tequila Sunworks, I think is the name of the studio. Tequila something like that. I almost said Tequila Sunrise, but that's a movie, right? Tequila Sunrise. Yeah. So it's not that. I think it's Tequila Sunworks.
And you said Grit, not Grease.
No, I said Guilt.
Oh, sorry.
GYLT, Guilt.
Oh.
It's an indie game. I might pick that one up. Just Dance 2020. I might pick that up. I don't know. Kine, Metro Exodus, Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K20, Rage 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. That's probably the biggest game. I feel like maybe that and like Metro Exodus, right?
No, Red Dead Redemption. Metro Exodus was not that big.
Okay.
I mean, that was probably maybe, what, a 50, 60 gig download? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean big. I meant in terms of like AAA games.
That's okay, sorry.
Yeah. More Tomb Raider stuff. All the different Tomb Raider, the recent Tomb Raiders. Mm-hmm. Thumper, Trials Rising, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. Those are the games you can get right now.
Damien Estrada asks, can you use Roku or Fire Stick? No, you cannot. You can only use a Chromecast.
That's coming later?
Really?
So that's what I'm saying. Eventually, you don't need
you don't need the Chromecast Ultra. You'll be able to.
Right. I think the Chromecast Ultra right now is just for the 4K stuff, but like for the free version, because I tried to do this at work. Nobody from work watched. I tried to just go on and use our computer, and for the most, it allowed me to connect. The problem was because this is so secure, it wouldn't let me play.
Okay.
But like if you were to go upstairs right now and log into my account,
mm-hmm.
you'll see it load up.
Okay.
And you can play it from your computer. I can plug this into.
And that was the draw. That was the one thing that they were saying. You don't need to take your system anywhere.
Yeah.
You can literally play this as long as you have bought into the system
mm-hmm.
and you have these things. You can take this game anywhere.
And I would have been able to if we were in a different network environment. So it wasn't Stadia's fault. It was just the network we're on.
And so that to me, that bodes well. And I know because there's a lot of people in here who are like, and I want to go back because I want to give you your props on, this could be going to the Google graveyard. You guys are right.
Ain't nobody talking about Google Glass no more.
Yeah, Ray Sean K. Google is well known for killing off things very quickly.
Google Plus, where that at?
Shh, don't get me started on that. I actually use Google Plus. So you guys are right. Google has been known to just kill something because they have the money to do it. This to me seems to be in competition with your Xbox. What's the
xCloud?
xCloud.
Mm-hmm.
And
now we got to figure out how to get into xCloud because from what I hear, xCloud is great, and that works on more devices. It would work for you because it works on an Android device. I think you can pair other controllers with it. We just got to figure out how to get into the beta, some kind of way.
Google.
No, not Google. Xbox.
Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yeah. My bad.
Friends of the show.
Friends of the show. Microsoft.
Friend of the show, Phil Spencer. Give us a beta code to get into xCloud.
Help us.
Yeah. So yeah, that's too long. Don't read. It's not worth it yet.
That's interesting that you said that because I had been hearing so many doom and gloom about it, and I was on that side as well. But the idea of when they perfect this, of paying $60 and having Cyberpunk,
mm-hmm.
and then being able to take that when I go visit my in-laws or I go on vacation, and all I got to do is just bloop, and I'm in.
Yeah.
If they can make this work, this to me is a game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
Brandon Gonzalez asked, and YouTube gaming, what?
Well, the thing about YouTube gaming is it's supposed to connect with Google Stadia, so we'll see how that.
But this is the thing. A lot of these services that they talked about are not available just yet.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that they release this, but still wouldn't have it open for Christmas time. Because to me, this would make a great gift. Like for somebody like for you, this would be a great, like you would love this if you got this as a gift.
Yeah, probably.
And so I'm surprised that they did not have more opportunities for people to buy into the Founders Edition.
Yeah.
And I feel like they mismanaged this launch because it was not a great launch. Any review of Jedi Outcast, I think it's amazing. Brian Barrett, you're right. Probably one of the best Star Wars games.
We haven't finished it.
Nope.
We got a little way into it. I like it. It's interesting. I think that game. What happened?
Damien Estrada. Damien said.
Oh no, Damien. That's a good one, man.
That's actually kind of funny.
That's funny. I like
That's
that.
actually kind of funny.
Yeah. So we've enjoyed Jedi Outcast.
I really like.
We both rented it from Redbox. I still have my copy from Redbox. I haven't turned it in yet because I'm still playing.
This is the thing that I will say about Jedi Outcast and The Mandalorian. They're leaning heavily into Rebels and the Clone Wars. Their other properties.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jedi Outcast, I know you didn't watch Clone Wars, but Dathomir was a big part of the Clone Wars. Darth Maul's people. And getting to fight them and the Night Sisters was cool.
Yeah.
And so they're really leaning in. Whoever's in charge of these games are looking at Star Wars lore that is actually canon and saying, we're going to mine this.
And if you notice, they're getting away from the Skywalkers.
Yep.
Because they're like, we need to get away because we ain't really trying to touch them after episode 9. So yeah,
And
I'm cool with it.
I really wish we could do a better review. We just hadn't figured out how to do these reviews of video games yet.
We need better service systems so we can stream capture and all that stuff.
But as we've told you
BTS,
before,
man, behind the scenes stuff. We'll figure it out.
We're trying to figure this stuff out because we have a very, very rigid, because of the sensitive amount of information that we send and transfer. Yeah. Our network is closed. Like, even our IT manager is on board with helping us, and he's like, "There's nothing I can do to help y'all." We've had that workarounds. So,
you want to talk about it?
I mean, the YouTube gaming channel was shut down.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Brandon's next. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're getting to it.
Okay.
So
we're done with Google. You guys can feel free to ask more questions.
Joe Greer, Sabine, Ren has to be on the Zoom.
Where you want to go next?
I agree with you with Sabine. However, well, that's another conversation. Because I really want to get into the new Star Wars stuff, but I think that's a longer conversation. So we'll probably maybe ask that question, and maybe one day, you know what? After we finish Jedi Outcast and after Mandalorian, let's do a show about the new expanded universe.
Where does Star Wars go after it?
Where does Star Wars? Yeah, especially after Rise of Skywalker. So
Yeah.
let's meet back here in December. After we've all watched Rise of Skywalker and we finished The Mandalorian, and let's talk about the future Star Wars. I'll come back for that.
I'm gonna say, look, maybe January, but
Hey, I'll come back for that.
Okay.
So
where are we going?
let's start with: are we getting a Joker 2?
Maybe.
It depends on who you ask. So
Tell us a backstory about this foolishness with the Joker.
So basically, it started with the Hollywood Reporter. Let's start here. The Hollywood Reporter said they did a story, and I want to get the date correct.
You look so professional with all your notes.
Because this is the thing. We go through. This is one thing I don't know if you guys notice or the same thing happens with us. When it comes to news, someone will get a piece of information and they will just run it. They'll have one source. Now, in the news business, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to have 3 independent sources verify something. Depends on what outlet you go to, may only do 2. Some only do 1. So they may get wrong information and just run with it. What it looks like it seems, the Hollywood Reporter said, Joker sequel in the works as Todd Phillips eyes more DC origin movies. Exclusive.
Exclusively wrong.
Exclusive. It seems like that might not be the case.
Right.
Because Deadline came back on November the 20th. Don't dress for Joker sequel yet. Insiders say Todd Phillips never pitched origin film series on other DC characters. So you have 2 warring...
Not only did he not pitch it, but all the claims they said were false. Like
Yes.
the meeting never happened either. They also said the meeting didn't happen.
Literally shots fired.
Yeah, none of that stuff happened.
Then Todd Phillips went and talked to the IndieWire, another outlet, and says, I want to make sure I get his, I want to quote him accurately. This is his words. I can honestly say to you that there was no meeting that ever happened on October 7th where I marched in, Phillips said. First of all, if you know me and my career, that's not my style. I made a huge comedy at Warner Brothers, The Hangover, and I didn't suddenly become a comedy factory producer. Like, oh, let's just churn out movies. Bradley Cooper and I have a production company at Warner's. I've been at Warner's for 15, 16 years. We have 2 things in development at all times, not 40 things like some people. I'm not the kind of guy who goes marching and saying, I want these 40 titles. I just don't have the energy. Notice the thing he did not say. He did not say there was no meeting. He said there was no meeting on what?
October 7th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Notice he didn't say he's not doing it.
Right.
He just said the parts of the report there were certain parts of that report that weren't true. Mm-hmm. So let's be honest. This movie made $1 billion. It is the highest it is the most profitable comic book film ever because the budget was $60 million and it made over $1 billion. And guess where it hasn't been released yet?
What, China?
Yes.
It's also like the highest grossing R-rated film.
Yes, it is.
Of all time.
It is the highest grossing globally R-rated film of all time, beating out Deadpool. Yeah. So, did they talk about a sequel? You bet your ass they did. Did they do it on October the 7th? The first week it came out? Maybe not.
So what do you, in your mind, what do you think, where do we stand right now with the Joker sequel? Then I'll tell you what I think.
I think from what the Hollywood Reporter reported was that when, and this is something Todd Phillips has even said that happened. Todd Phillips there was an idea that there was going to be a black label Worlds of DC.
I remember that.
And that Todd Phillips pitched a villain's line of single movies outside of continuity of basically taking Lex Luthor, Doomsday, Joker, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, all of these wild villains, and giving them their own real world movie. And basically saying, let's explore these guys. DC said no, but let's do this Joker movie. Gave him $60 million. And they were like, okay, we're behind this because it's a low budget, it's low key, and it went and exceeded beyond all expectations. No one saw that coming. It hit at the right time. It was in the zeitgeist. It literally is pop culture, social, what's the word I'm looking for? Mental health, social upheaval, the attack on the 1%. It literally caught lightning in a bottle. No sequel to Joker 2 will do that. Mm-hmm. I think they are more on board with a line of movies in the worlds of DC and giving him more leeway. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think. I think a meeting did happen. I think a phone call happened because you don't make $1 billion movie without there being, did you see the opening in Great Britain? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see the opening in Papua New Guinea? There's just no way that doesn't happen. I think that happened. Did it happen on October 7th? I don't think it did.
I'm curious. I don't know if a meeting even happened yet.
I think a phone call happened.
I think definitely talks have happened.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix has gone on record.
Yep.
Not to say that a sequel is definitely going to happen, but that they talked about sequel stuff while they were filming the original.
Yep. Because you do that.
Yeah.
We do that on stories. We've literally done a story while we're working on a story. Mm-hmm.
How do you expand the story? How do you take it further? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now.
So people are talking about whether or not it's the highest grossing budgeting stuff.
Brian Barrett. So let's break it down. So the reason why we say the most profitable ever is because you have to look at how much the budget was. If you're saying the most money made, it has not made the most money of any comic book movie. That's not true. It is the most profitable because the budget was $60 million. So when you look at how much it cost to make and then how much extra it made, it is the most profitable when it comes to comic book movie. In-game profit is more than the full gross of Joker. Again, correct. But the in-game budget, look at how much money it took. That was almost, what, 250 mil?
I think it was more than that because don't they count? Doesn't Endgame and Infinity War aren't their budgets put together?
I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure. But then you also have to take in promotion. So they always say whatever you have a movie, add half of that movie's budget to promotion. So if it took $250 million for Endgame to get made, tack on at least $100 million for marketing because you have to promote this movie. The Joker movie was budgeted at $60 million. It made $90 million its opening weekend. So it already made its core budget back and more. So anything else was pure profit. So that's why we say it is the most profitable. So you got to look at the budget compared to how much other movies are budgeted at. That's why Venom was such a big deal, because Venom was not budgeted very high. It was a low budget compared to your Captain Marvel, your Thor.
Your most recent Marvel movies, essentially.
So that's why you have to really look at those numbers. I don't know if I want a real world Lex Luthor movie.
I mean, yeah.
Is it Wall Street with toys?
But when we did the first Joker reaction, either myself or Lauren was
trailer?
Like,
yeah,
Joker trailer reaction. We were like, nobody asked for this, and somebody's like, well, nobody ever asked for anything, which is true. A lot of times, you don't know that you want until it comes out. Because again, I can kind of go back to nobody was asking for Into the Spider-Verse until we saw it. Like, oh, this is hot.
A lot of people were asking for a Miles Morales movie.
Right, but nobody was asking for that particular animation with all that stuff. Oh, no,
because no one had ever seen that.
Right. So, I mean, a Lex Luthor movie could be cool. I don't know. If it's given if the right people do it.
So, in your opinion, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, I think a sequel is going to get made because Warner Brothers likes money.
You think a sequel's being made?
It just made $1 billion. Yeah. They keep trying to make a sequel to Bridesmaids, and that didn't make $1 billion. And Kristen Wiig is already like, nah, I wasn't worried about a sequel to Bridesmaids. I feel like Warner Brothers is too big. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like Warner Brothers is too big to not try to get the funds. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they want another sequel, or they want a sequel because they want more than $1 billion. I don't know how to exactly word that, but yeah, you make $1 billion, you want a sequel. The question though is, why do these leaks and stuff happen with Warner Brothers stuff more so than like Marvel?
And this is why to me it gets to. So Brian, I'm about to send you an article. You got to look at that 500 million. It's more than that right now. All right, so I'm about to send you this. Read this, and we'll talk about it in a second. Why does that happen?
Because the internet sucks.
Yeah, our internet sucks. Sorry, guys. But this is what I will say about Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers had a studio head, multiple studio heads, and there's no cohesion. In other words, Marvel had this problem too in the beginning. When Ike Perlmutter was in charge, Jeff Loeb was in charge, the different divisions. When they were in charge of different things, you got these little problems. You got little problems like with the money thing with, remember, Robert Downey Jr. Mm-hmm. And then you had the cast where they were like, they banded together with RDJ and they were able to get more money. And then you had the issues of the recasting with, what's up, man? And then you got,
I hate you so much.
Dude from Empire.
I know who you're talking about.
I'm trying to remember what his name is.
I now just want to say Lucius Lyon.
Yeah, no, you know who I mean.
I know who you mean.
Hustle and Flow.
But you had to say that like an idiot, and now I can't think of his name.
What's up, man?
Oh, goodness.
But Don Cheadle took his place. But you had a lot of...
Terrence Howard.
Thank you. Oh, man, I couldn't. Yeah. But this is the thing. You had a lot of those problems in the beginning. Until Marvel and Disney and everybody got together and was like, we need to tighten this ship. And what they started to do was give Kevin Feige more and more power. And now we've seen Kevin Feige now has all of the Infinity Stones.
Pretty much.
And literally closed
just flex to whatever you want.
And has literally run people off. Jeff Loeb is gone. And there's reports that said that they did not like each other. And man, Kevin Feige's in charge of everything.
I love how delayed we are because now we're seeing you guys respond to us.
I wish, we need a better internet because this connection needs to be better. Because you guys had the answer because we could not figure it out.
Yeah.
You saw that. Warner Brothers doesn't have that. Warner Brothers doesn't have a let's make this guy who's like in charge of everything. They don't have, you know what they have? Warner Brothers is literally Game of Thrones, where everybody set themselves up as a king of their department.
And at one point, weren't they trying to consolidate that to make one person in charge? But I guess that really hasn't worked out.
Because they have too much infighting. Because the only way you get this, the only way you get 3 different stories is you have 3 different sources leaking information to get ahead. Because we've heard before, Hollywood's a cutthroat business. You could be gone in a minute. Executives are always pitching stuff, and no one knows how to make. There's no formula that says this should work.
Right.
Batman vs. Superman should have been the highest grossing comic book movie of all time.
Just based on the name.
Just based on the name.
On the characters.
The Joker movie has a better gross than that does. A $60 million Joker
R-rated movie.
R-rated
which
movie.
cuts down your base. Yeah.
Preach!
I'm just saying, I mean, as you say, it's an R-rated movie, so you're cutting down on the PG-13 people that could
Preach!
And
So there's no rhyme or reason. So everyone is at each other's throats. It's a pit of vipers. I think that's how you get 3 different stories. Now, as this relates to... What up, Lauren? Come on, Lauren. What's up?
I'm watching y'all on the live stream.
Okay. Say hi to the people.
Oh.
This is...
Hi, people. What up, internet world?
Yeah. You getting in on this? What's up?
Nah, I'm gonna be
the disembodied voice in the corner.
disembodied voice.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure they just saw me walk through that underneath. Did they see me going?
I mean, we'll see in a second.
Well, yeah, because it's delayed. We just talked about how terrible our internet is.
Yeah, we don't know.
But you're so right. Joker should have been decent. Mm-hmm. How does Aquaman make more money than Batman vs Superman?
Because it was fun.
but that's what I'm saying. So I think you have a pit of vipers who are just basically saying, this is it. And they're leaking all of this stuff with no one really being in charge. Mm-hmm. So, okay, Rayshawn, remember, it didn't make more, it was more profitable. In other words, if I've got $20 and I flip that 20 into $1,500,
it's just like the ratio.
Yeah, you got to look at the ratios. Don't look at the overall money. Look at how much it costs to get made. And that's what Hollywood is always trying to do. They don't like spending $250 million on a movie.
I just saw Lauren's part.
Oh, you did? It's like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and this goes to a larger point, which goes back to the original thing, the Snyder Cut. So we've had multiple actors and actresses from the original Justice League talk about the Snyder Cut.
It all started with that doggone Jason Momoa.
No, it started before that.
Oh, did it?
Ray Fisher.
Oh, okay.
Ray Fisher was the one who said it. I want to say it was Ray Fisher first.
The one I remember,
but
most recently was
Momoa
was like, oh yeah, I've seen it.
Momoa was the one who was like, y'all gonna do it?
Yeah.
My man.
Yeah, pretty much. My man.
My man.
And I don't know why. I think the most recent report I read is that Warner Brothers has said
we
ain't releasing it.
Warner Brothers has said there is no plans to release the Snyder Cut or make a Snyder Cut. There are other people who have said principal photography was done, but the actual effects and the sound and all that other stuff was not done. Here's the weird part. Junkie XL, who was supposed to originally score the Justice League, says, I scored the whole movie. So, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Where it at?
So now you have Jason Momoa, who in his interview with MTV, who just happened to be like, have you seen the Snyder Cut? And said that there were certain things not done, and Jason Momoa said, is it? Mm-hmm. So, is he trolling, or is he, so...
But then, After that, yes, Lauren says yes. After that, Gal Gadot, I don't know how. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman said,
her name right.
yeah,
So
Wonder
respect
Woman
her name.
said release the cut, and then Zack Snyder said
He tweeted a
the
picture.
Amazonian can't be wrong or something like that. Follow the Wonder Woman.
So is it Gadot or Gadot?
It's Wonder Woman. It's that woman from Fast and Furious.
So she said, she tweeted out a picture, or was it on Instagram? I can't remember which one. She had a frame from the movie. Now, Zack Snyder has been diligently releasing little pictures from the movie. She put out a picture, then he retweeted that picture. So it's from a frame that has never been seen. So you now have Jason Moore, Ray Fisher, then you had David Ayer, the director of Suicide Squad. You had Junkie XL. You've got Zack Snyder. Guess who jumped on the bandwagon recently? I'm rich.
Oh, Ben Affleck?
Yep.
Okay.
Ben Affleck has tweeted out. And recently, Henry Cavill released the Snyder Cut. So the only person we haven't heard from is Ezra Miller. Or is it Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller.
So that's the only, and I don't even know if he has social media.
He's too busy doing
Serenade people.
serenade people on pianos and stuff, singing to you in your eyes. Lauren, have you seen that on our Twitter?
No.
Ezra Miller. I think it's.
Oh wait, I did see that. I did see that.
he was
Then
singing.
you ran into him at Comic-Con,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He was like, what?
Sat next to you.
The funniest thing is when he walked up, I did not realize it was him because he's so tall. And so this tall dude, I was like, that looks like a giant version of Ezra Miller. And he started playing, and I was like, is that Ezra Miller? I don't know what's happening.
He does look tiny on screen.
He does. Every time you see
Yeah,
him.
he's just tall and
Lord,
lanky.
he is
Yeah.
tall.
And I don't know. Well, he's 5'11".
Nah,
According to Wikipedia.
he's taller than that.
According to Wikipedia,
Here we go with this
He's
height
5'11".
foolishness.
He is at least 6 feet.
unless they lying to us.
He probably.
But I believe Wikipedia.
I believe that was another height supremacist who literally went in and edited that to take height away from Ezra Miller. Because that brother is at least 6 foot. But yeah.
Was his hair done up that day? Did he have a high band on or something?
But I think this is a problem. Zaylen Maru.
I don't get his name.
That's just not what I'm gonna do. I'm butcher it. Except for Ezra Miller, you have got people. What?
Keeping Up with the Joneses. I enjoyed that movie because Gal Gadot was in that. That was good.
Why is it SpongeBob on camera? Is that her name, SpongeBob?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Somebody said SpongeBob earlier. I don't know.
We
asked Lauren to be on camera. She
You know
said
the
she wanted
funniest
to be
thing
on the
is they
side.
love. There are people who watched y'all review of SpongeBob just for the two of y'all,
Man,
because they were
was
like,
trash. SpongeBob was trash, bro. They ruined him. Ruined SpongeBob.
But yeah, there are a lot of people who are like, we want the Snyder Cut. And that's a problem for Warner Brothers once again. When you have all of these stars clamoring for a cut of a movie you said does not exist. Mm-hmm. You said you're not going to release. The director says it exists. Mm-hmm. That's a problem that Marvel, and I'm not even saying Marvel. There's no other movie studio dealing with this.
And it's weird because for a while, Zack Snyder was kind of silent on it. It's not like he said it didn't exist. He just didn't talk about it.
And then
all of a sudden now he's talking about it. I wonder what changed.
Every week he drops a clip or some type of picture, and that's where I feel like Warner Brothers. That's how you get these from Warner Brothers, because they don't have because this is my thing. Warner Brothers could easily say stop, and they haven't. And I don't know if it's a troll job. And if it is a troll job, it's a cruel one. Because I'm not one of those people, but there are a lot of people who believe the Snyder Cut exists and they want it. Because they feel as if they were robbed. Because it wasn't like Zack Snyder got fired. He had a personal tragedy happen to him. And he had to leave. Mm-hmm. And they brought in somebody else. And you can tell by watching that movie, it is not a great movie. Because
it definitely feels like two different movies.
And so they feel as if Zack Snyder was never given the opportunity to finish his movie. Mm-hmm. We got the weird Superman mustache with Henry Cavill. So there are people who really, and don't get me wrong, these people have turned and done charity work. These people have brought awareness to suicide prevention because that was what Zack Snyder had dealt with. He had a child who lost, and I really feel like WB, Warner Brothers, could easily say, y'all need to chill. They could easily said that, but they haven't. Which leads me to believe they're either ignorant of it and not paying attention, or they have given a green light.
Yeah, maybe they'll finally release it. Somebody said they saw a rumor that it might come to the HBO Max.
Well, see, that's what a lot of,
Yeah.
honestly, there's a lot of talk between people who do this better than we do, who are insiders, who are speculating a Snyder Cut being released on HBO Max would be would literally have, I don't want to say millions of people, but a good number of people sign up just for that movie because they want to see it. And so, but that, I think that's Warner Brothers not policing and not having a tight grip on how they handle things. Because there's no way in the world you have competing storylines about a Joker movie who we know made $1 billion.
You wanna talk about your other little topic before we wrap up?
But I will say this: there's word.
You got thoughts too?
About this.
Anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was trapped in a meeting for about 2.5 hours.
You still got to come down, don't you?
Executive session.
You still got to come down. You like, man, I had to wait.
Yeah. So at this moment, no, I'm just here to listen to y'all. But I wanted the live version.
Okay. Cool.
But I will say this:
Version.
I'm hoping Warner Brothers is so trashed and so messed up, it allows for Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. Because I'm sorry.
Because Henry Cavill has said he still wants to be Superman.
He says he still has the costume.
In a Men's Health.
Says he's not giving
interview.
it back. Yep. He
Yeah.
says he's not giving it back. And I support him. Henry Cavill, we will fight for you. Cavillites unite.
I like this little curl that he had, that curl in the front of his head. That curl worked.
Do you like the curl?
I like the curl.
Hey, you need to see him work out.
I mean, I've seen the body.
You like...
He got a Superman-esque body.
Son, did you see the Twitter gif of him when he did this? And
Oh, you talking about
and when he loaded them guns, and this girl was like, she said, "What you gonna do if you see Henry Cavill do this?" She said. So I said, "What?" She literally she said, I was like, yo. People were like, yo, Henry Cavill is zaddy. Now, I'm not going to go that far. But I liked Man of Steel. It's not just because I like it as a movie. It was one of the first times in a long time since Christopher Reeve that I was like, I like that Superman.
So why didn't people like Man of Steel as much as... Because I remember when we went
Because
to
he
the
killed
Superman-
Zod.
Okay.
He killed Zod, and I don't think the movie did him any favors. He killed Zod, which is the one thing Superman doesn't kill. And also the whole idea of him not saving Pa Kent. And how the relationship was different in the original Superman, and how the comics that we have and the graphic novels of his depiction of being... The way they did him was different, and a lot of people didn't like that.
Brandon, you don't want the original cut of Sonic. You don't want that movie that they were going to make. Now y'all out here just being fool. You don't want that.
Brandon out here wilding.
Yeah.
Brandon, put that drink down.
You don't want that.
You don't want that, sir. Don't you do that.
Man, that
But,
anorexic looking squirrel with blue dye.
But yeah, so I like Man of Steel, and I'm on record of liking it, and I own the Taschen book that came out like whenever they do these movies. I have the original Taschen book I liked him. I liked Man of Steel. I loved Zod. I loved the way Zod was presented. I understood people's problems. But to me, this was the first movie, to me, that you actually saw how dangerous and powerful Superman is. Like when you saw that fight in the city, that was the first time you realized he literally is a god. Mm-hmm. And I feel like no other movie got that point or did that. The only time you ever saw that before was in the Animated Adventures, JLU, the last JLU, Justice League Unlimited, when he fought Darkseid. Mm-hmm. And he said to Darkseid, I always have to hold back. Scared I'm going to break something. He said, with you, I don't have to do that. And you got to see that in real life. So to me, that's why I love Man of Steel. I like Henry Cavill. I know you're not a big fan of him.
I don't know what it is about Henry Cavill.
Tudors.
I never saw Tudors.
Oh,
So
son.
maybe I need to see that.
You are robbing yourself of a great performance.
I think something about the way he carries himself, he seems so serious that he almost seems wooden to me. And I don't know. I would like to see Henry Cavill in a comedy.
I would too.
Because I would like to see serious actors do comedy, just to see him in a different form. To be like, okay, this is a different side of him, and I can see other stuff.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Henry Cavill is the British John Hamm. Because John Hamm, let me finish. If John Hamm didn't do other things, you would think the same thing about John Hamm. But John Hamm has done.
Even before he did comedy, though, there was something to John Hamm that I liked.
That's what I'm saying. But
that before the comedy part,
True.
It was still. So
I would say
for me,
I would say watch The Tudors, because
Okay.
when you watch John Hamm and you saw him in Baby Driver, you saw him in Mad Men, you realize he has a lot of range. And I loved him in Black Mirror. So when you see him and then you go back and watch The Tudors, you're
I
like,
want to see John Hamm in 30 Rock. It's great.
I never watched that 30 Rock.
He's great.
But John Hamm is a great comedic actor.
Yeah.
And so I think if Henry Cavill was able to get those roles, I think you would see him in more. But they always typecast him as the stuffy,
Yeah.
you know, the giant.
Now I do like him as a foil to stuff. Like I really like Man from U.N.C.L.E. I enjoyed that movie.
I
a
like
lot.
that monkey. I said movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Shut
liked
up,
him. I
Mark.
liked Armie Hammer. I liked was that Vikander?
Alicia, it was Alicia.
Yeah,
Vikander.
I would love to see a sequel to Man from U.N.C.L.E.
So that's why I'm really hoping this Witcher show is excellent, because I think a lot of people, and that's why I say Warner Brothers to me. I hope they get it together, but I hope there's still a little bit of trash in them that allows that they don't know what they're doing, that Henry Cavill can slide back in. And because I really liked him as Man of Steel. I liked him as a Superman. I think Batman versus Superman, I did not like that movie. Mm-hmm. I did not like the director's cut. I still don't like it. I didn't like him in Justice League, but I like him. And I feel like he was never given a fair shot. And I think give him a better movie, give him a better opportunity, and I feel like that I think you will see that. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say you don't have any other movie studio that has these issues like Warner Brothers does.
Brett, sorry to break it to you. You made it on time to see us wrap up. Unfortunately. Because we've been going for an hour.
Yeah.
We got to go do our other job.
Yep.
Kind of, sort of.
So I want to say, Joe Grip, rest in peace, Dwayne McDuffie. Shot. Oh, y'all don't. Static Shock. He created Static Shock.
Oh.
Dwayne McDuffie was
Okay.
a black comic writer who created the Milestone universe. Mm-hmm. He also was a writer on worked with Bruce Timm on some of the animated series and stuff. He created Icon, Hardware, Static Shock, mm-hmm. The Night Syndicate. I'm trying to remember. I think that's them. But yeah, Dwayne McDuffie was a legend in comics. So yeah, good. Guys, so let's go back through real quick. I missed a lot of these, so I want to say.
Lauren, you got any thoughts as he reads through stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say shout out to Raekwon. I was about to say Raekwon. Rayshawn K. Follow me on Twitter.
Oh, so Lauren came in here just to get more followers.
Pretty much.
No, I don't care about followers, but I appreciate you following me. I don't really tweet anything of nerdy.
Yeah.
All news, but I appreciate it.
But yeah, so that's where we are. I'm always gonna try to rep for Henry Cavill. I feel like he gets denigrated sometimes that he don't deserve it. And I'll be honest with you, go back and read the Men's Health article that he did, mm-hmm. where he talks about like he was beat down like when he would go to auditions. Somebody told him he was fat on a movie.
Wow, he was fat?
Guess who it was?
Who?
The person who directed Green Lantern.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Homie.
Like.
Don't even know their name.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to.
Yeah.
But let's say shout out. Let's go. IMAX. What's up? Breck Warren. Ty Williams. Oh, we missed Ty Williams was here. IMAX. Joe Greer. D. Stiesel. Damian Estrada. Edward Sanchez Productions. Zaylon Maru.
People come up with the stuff, man. Ray Sean.
We said Ray Sean. Kev John. I didn't even see Kev John was here, man. Moretz. And no, Kev John, you will not get the Eric Stoltz cut of Back to the Future.
They burned them tapes.
Yeah, they did. You gotta get a Necronomicon for that. Let's see who else. I thought I saw. Did I say Brian Barrett?
You did now.
Brian Barrett, Damon Estrada.
He didn't get 007 because he was too fat.
Okay, that's weird.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him as double. Well, I don't know. Sometimes like 007 can be a limiting because you have to attach yourself to it, and it doesn't allow you to do other stuff. Who else? Somebody in the beginning. Oh, what? Nope. That's not what I wanted. How did I get rid of that?
I don't know. You don't broke it.
With this crappy computer. Joe Greer. Retro Pyro.
Mark Zaz, Mark Cass.
That's Morass.
Morass 23.
Morass, yep.
Okay.
The Chosen One. What You Were Watching. And Yoni Shaw.
Cool.
So we want to make sure we shout out everybody in the chat. As we get more people, it's going to be hard to do that. We want to thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for being part of the Founders Edition of News 19 Nerds.
And
you guys don't get, you didn't have to pay for that.
You had to pay for that. You had to drop $130.
We didn't give y'all no control.
This is free. We do this for the people.
Yeah.
See what Michael did for y'all?
Yeah.
Want to say thank you. You can catch us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WLTX.com, and we're out.
And
Appreciate it,
YouTube.
guys.
Yeah.